Shout out to Historically Black Sis.
One thing that people should know about our illustrious Fisk University is that we are the oldest institute of higher education in Nashville, Tennessee.
Something very important that everybody should know about Nashville, Tennessee is that Nashville, Tennessee is nicknamed Music City because of the historic Jubilee Singers and their travels to England, where the Queen of England dubbed them the Music City Singers because they sounded so great like they were from Music City.
Another fact about Fisk University is we have a large group of international students on here. So to anyone looking to come to Fisk, be it from any country, Africa or the Caribbean, you're welcome.
The last time we had a full homecoming was 2019, which was my freshman year. So it just kind of reminds me of my freshman year. It's like kind of nostalgic, and I just love homecoming because all the alumni, they're so funny and giving all the time, and it's just a good vibe anywhere you go.
So like Mr. Fisk said, the last time I experienced homecoming was 2019, my freshman year, and so it has been a long time coming to see this happen once again. There's so many people out on the yard in the different buildings. There was even a tour going on this morning. Like, I'm so happy and so grateful to see so many people outside on the yard, and I've met so many people just today alone, and that's one of the things I love most about homecoming. I get to meet so many alum and so many prospective students that want to come here, and I've actually for the first time ever met so many Miss Fisk from the past, and I'm so grateful for that experience.
So being in the class of 2024, we are called the COVID class. We didn't have a real homecoming experience freshman year and sophomore year. This year is definitely different because we heard about it but never experienced it. And I'm just happy to see alumni on campus like every other person said, and just see how full of life Fisk can actually be, bringing back the Fisk spirit in a whole different way, a whole different light that I personally haven't seen before due to COVID and all other restrictions. So I'm really happy to see this year in a different light and also see alumni back on.
Coming here on campus getting full out for the first time is very exciting for me. I know at HBCU culture, homecoming is a big part of our culture. We all look forward to it. I grew up going to HBCU homecoming at Albany State University. So I grew up around the culture, and I really missed having that. So getting to experience it for myself full out as a Fiskite this year is really exciting.
It's definitely very interesting because, like they said last year, alumni were not allowed to come on campus, so students pretty much had to set their own vibe for what we did on campus. However, it is very interesting now because we are seeing how alumni set the pace in past years, and they're basically giving an example for us to follow that is very much needed with that guidance because, like I said, we had to set the pace for ourselves, and now we have that example of years of wisdom and experience to follow and really just bring an overall family atmosphere back to campus again.
All of that. So what are some of the struggles that you all face, and what are some advice that you have for other aspiring student leaders and even current student leaders now trying to just balance everything?
So I know that it definitely is difficult to hold any type of student leader position or just be a part of any activity while balancing your school and work life. Life has a lot going on, and so personally what I do is I make sure that I set aside days and time to make sure that it's for myself or to do my homework, and I try not to make those times overlap. So if I'm having a day for myself, I make sure that that day is set aside for myself and for nothing else. Or if I'm having a day for homework, I make sure that that day is for homework and for nothing else. That way I don't get sidetracked and I can stay about my business and not let anything distract me. And then I still put in time for fun. So me time and work time is not time for fun. Fun time is its own day.
Okay.
And just like she said, it is difficult being a student leader and having to balance multiple responsibilities because most of us are coming from high school where we had 7 classes in one day, then organizations to go to after, club meetings. Some people played sports and they were at the school until 10 p.m. However, now in college, it's an entirely different ballgame, and I know many people, including myself, definitely feel like there are not enough hours in the day for all of the things that we need to do. However, my biggest tip to any aspiring or current student leaders is to stay organized and maybe even keep a calendar. Me personally, once I implemented a Google color-coded calendar that broke down everything hour by hour, day by day, week by week, month by month, it made my life so much easier because, like Jordan, our 87th Miss Fisk University said, you must set time aside for specific events that do not overlap each other in order to basically not lose your mind because you are incredibly busy, but you need to make time for everything that you want to do.
Okay, my queens, I have a question for y'all.
Wait a second.
Yo, so we're part of the Royal Court. Like, We are the Radiant Royals. And everybody, I feel like, is looking at us to be role models, to be ambassadors. Even people that don't go here. How do you guys handle that stress? Because it definitely is a lot.
I can definitely start off. Like, when I tell you the pressure is real, it is real because there's so many expectations weighing you down. Not just expectations from the outside world, but expectations from yourself, right? But like how I deal with that is I'm human and I fail. I'm not perfect. So in as much as people try to hide their failures, I'm proud of mine because that makes me better, that makes me self better, and that brings a better version of myself out. So that's how I deal with my pressure, knowing that it's okay to fail, take 2 steps back and work it out and come back better. That's how I deal with mine.
My forever Miss Junior.
Yes,
Come on.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. But piggybacking off of that, I remember my freshman year during orientation, we did a Queen's Corner with the past Royal Court. I believe it was 2021 to 2022. And the 86th Miss Fisk University, Taylor Dion Woodard, she told us, she was all sitting on the stage in the historic Appleton room, and she was like, y'all, we ain't nobody. We are not, no, like we eat in the same caf, we use the same library, we sit on the same benches on the yard, we are nobody. And like she said, we are human. Who are you to judge me? And we sit in the same classes in Park Johnston. Come on now. Without this crown and sash, we are the exact same. Like, we are nobody. But as far as failures, I definitely have had to learn to take a step back and stop trying to be so perfect all the time. This is a role, not some sort of celebrity position. You're here to serve, not to be some picture perfect person.
Even celebrities fail, so why
can't
you fail?
Come on.
As long as I don't end up in the Daily Mail.
Girl.
Personally, for me, how I deal with the stress that comes with this position, I ask people for help. I rant to everyone. I make sure that I get my feelings out because without that, all of the pressure just bobbles up. And so you need to get that out, and so I use my fellow queens, my sister queens, to help me out with that, and I also go to my family and friends to really, help me back up.
That's right.
I know that's right.
Definitely understand each and every one of y'all's point because expectations can crush you. It can crush your heart. And if you don't meet your own expectation, it's like, what did I do wrong? And that's something that I'm really learning because I'm like, I can't set these expectations aside for myself. All I can be is me. And no matter what, as long as I'm being myself, I can be proud of myself. And I can just do the best that I know how to do. I try to make sure that everybody knows who Jordan is. And Jordan is also the 87th Miss Fisk University. But Jordan is also Jordan. And that didn't change just because of this position. That didn't change overnight at all. I try to show people the realest version of myself. And no matter what I'm wearing, no matter where I'm at, whether I'm in my room, in the caf, in Park Johnson taking classes, I'm still Jordan. And Jordan makes what the crown is. The crown does not make Jordan.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We ate that.
But personally, growing up, I used to be a little TV kid. I used to sit in front of the TV, and I used to love watching pageants on television. And it wasn't until I got a little bit older, I would say middle school, high school, like 8th, 9th grade, that I really started to actually look at these people that were in pageants and wearing crowns because I just thought the crown was pretty. I was like, oh, there's Miss America, Miss USA, Miss America Sweetheart. Like, they look so pretty. It wasn't until a little bit later that I was like, all of these women do not look like me. I didn't realize it at the time, and I didn't realize the historical importance of that and how much that would actually mean to me, because I remember looking at a book about how to do your hair because I didn't know how to do my hair personally, and I looked at a book and I was like, Mom, this is not working. Why is my hair not doing this? And she was just like, Jordan, that's not it. That's not your hair. That's not your hair texture. That's not even the right process to do your hair. And I was like, that's really when it opened my eyes, and I was finally seeing I'm a little bit different. Like, black people actually make up 13% of America's population, so black women is even less than that. And so when I was growing up, there was definitely not that many resources, especially as there are now, or even coloring books, picture books that have so many black women in them. So as I grew up, and now that I wear this crown, and now that I am Miss Fisk, I'm just so happy to actually see the HBCU culture and see so many black women in these positions, see black women empowered, because that empowers me to be who I've always wanted to be. Yeah.
Absolutely, and especially me being from Houston, Texas, that is a very diverse city. However, in your formative years, middle school, everybody look a mess, whatever. But I was not around a lot of black people, especially in all of my classes, advanced, honors, gifted, talented, whatever, what have you. I would always be the only black girl in there, and there would be one other black guy, and we would just be like, oh, we're both black, hey. But even tying in with that, it was so hard for me to come into myself because I have no examples of strong, independent black women just doing their thing. And along with that, it was so difficult coming into myself, especially appearance-wise and my personality, because I was taught that black people are a monolith because black girls all act the same, or if they act a certain way, there's certain groups that all hang with each other. It wasn't until I came to Fisk that I realized black girls can be whatever they want. Be your own type of beautiful, be your own type of black girl. There's alternative black girls, there's country black girls, there's girls that wear their natural hair, girls that wear their hair relaxed, girls that wear their hair straight. You can be your own type of black girl. You don't have to subjugate yourself to any type of stereotype, monolith, or really just example of what people think black women are supposed to be.
Yes. You can be so different.
Yes, she can. And I guess for me, y'all know my story is different, but I didn't grow up in a place where we had black and white. Literally everyone was the same. I came from Nigeria to the States, and then I started seeing how white people spoke about black people, or how black people, especially black women, were treated. Not the same opportunities, minimizing or the age gap or the glass ceiling and things like that. Those were never heard of from where I'm from. And one thing I know this whole experience has made me realize is you have to be your voice. Regardless of wherever you find yourself, you're a black woman, you're beautiful, you have that value that you're bringing to the table. No one's gonna speak about you the way you speak about yourself. So bringing yourself out in whatever spaces you find yourself puts you there for a reason, and remember, you always belong wherever you find yourself. Even if you're the only black person in that room, you're there for a reason. Elevate yourself, speak about you, and then whatever struggles we all know we deal with, you can definitely be proud of who you are, and then once again bring your value out to the table. So
you like that.
So I would say unfortunately, but it's going to be a blessing as well. Soon enough, we'll have to pass down our positions to the next cohort of people that come in, to the next queens that come in. Soon, but we still got a little bit of time. But what advice would you guys give to somebody that wants your position right now? How do they get there from where they are right now?
I'd say definitely have a big support system. Well, I wouldn't even say big. Just have someone there with you who can help get you to where you need to be, help you stay on top of things, even pick you up when you're feeling down. You really do need that support, because there's always so much that you can do by yourself.
Yes.
Even though you can do so much by yourself, but there's still that need to push you further that you didn't even picture first.
For sure, those secret tears, when you're breaking down, that's when your support system comes in. And just to piggyback on what you said, having a support system is really crucial, because there'll be points where you feel like you're alone, no one values you, or no one's trying to talk to you. Then these people probably reiterate you are you. You're a queen, you're wearing that crown, so you have to carry yourself that way. And we can't speak enough about that. And I was also my advice to any HBCU queens or aspiring queens would be, you have to be your authentic self. Whenever people want to run for positions like this, or whenever they get into positions like this, they tend to forget themselves. But then you are the position, like the 87th said, like you are the position, like you wear the crown, don't let the crown wear you. We spoke about expectations, like expectations can drive you crazy to a point where you forget yourself. But at every point you have to remember you are you, and you have to show the world who you are being you.
Yeah, exactly. And definitely remember your why, because like we said, this is very heavily appearance based. However, essentially this is a service position. Every single thing that we do is for the students. You are here to serve your campus. And with that being said, be authentic in who you are. Don't let the crown wear you, because it will show when you start acting Hollywood towards all your peers.
Say that again.
I'm telling you right now.
Say it again.
There are so many days out of the academic school year that you will be dressed in that sash and crown, and every other day you will be with your peers, and they will know how you truly are when you have that crown and sash off. So don't let that crown befool you, because you definitely need to be who you are if you want to be in a position like this.
Yes, absolutely, y'all. Like, I cannot even stress it enough how important it is to be your authentic self and nobody else. Somebody very wise, the 86 Miss Fisk University, Taylor Dion Woodard, once told me that even when you're running for this position or running for whatever position you want to run for, you have to be you, and you have to set your own pace. You have to run your own race and do your own campaign. Because once you get caught in like this comparison trap, like, oh, they did this, they have this, they did X, Y, Z, then you start doing it as well. That's no longer your campaign. It's theirs because you stole their idea.
Okay.
It's not even like a coincidence.
You're losing track.
You're losing track of yourself, and you have to be you. If what you want to put forward is you want to give everybody donuts, then give everybody donuts. If you want to give everybody crowns and you have the capacity to do that, then do it. It's what you can bring to the table. Because if you were, by God's grace, to win and you weren't being authentically yourself, it's going to show when you get the position. Because what now? Because now you can't look left and right at what everybody else is doing. Now you have to be you. And so it's so important to know that I want every black woman to know, whether they're in pre-K or if they just graduated college, that they are queens right now. All of us sitting here right now, we were crowned queens in God's eyes before we had these crowns, before we had these positions, before we even thought about running for these positions, before we even got here to Fisk University. We were all already queens, and that has not changed, and that never will change in your life.
And along with what she said as well, especially during campaign week, especially at the big HBCUs, I know there are queens and kings who have thousands of dollars in their budgets to spend for that campaign. I do not have that. I do not. However, you also need to remember to not psych yourself out, because if you genuinely believe that you could not be in this position, you wouldn't have filled out that application, you wouldn't have went to the informational, and you wouldn't have people around you telling you that you are able to do this position. And like Darla said, with the support group, you will have people who see something in you that you do not see in yourself. And once they see that, that is your go-to, and you need to realize that you would not have run for this position if you knew that you were not qualified. So don't let the facade that other people are putting on, don't let the money, the trinkets that other people are doing during campaign week to psych them out, because you are you. Everybody else is taken, so you better figure it out and be yourself.
Yes, you have to be you. You can't be anybody else. Because during campaign week, it will show. You will show. Your true personality is going to shine through. And you have to remember, like, these people already know you. Like, as long as you're running for Miss Sophomore, Miss Junior, Miss Senior, Miss Fisk, these people already know you. They know what your personality is. They know what you've done. They know what classes that you've taken, what major that you have. You can't pretend to be anybody else, because it's going to be noticed. People know if you're being fake to their face.
Especially around campaign season in March, April for our school.
Everyone's changing.
I noticed in February when people start being a little...
everyone's so nice. Everyone's like, hi. Here's a good bag. Girl, hi, how was your day?
You don't even hold the door open
you don't say that to me, like, what's up?
Exactly.
But yeah, I just want to reiterate something. So, like, you know how for campaign week, you already have, like, your days planned out. You have your campaign team and all of that. Like, it's essential to stick true to what you plan.
Yeah.
Because I'll give an example. Like, y'all remember opening night? Like, I don't know if y'all saw my entrance.
Oh, everybody did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Everyone
like
did.
at that point, like I saw what every other person was doing, like going in queue, throwing in candy, and I'm like, if I come in with me, how are people gonna take this? Like, are people gonna even say anything? Like, oh, whatever. And then my friends are like, we're sticking true to what we planned, because if we change that, that wasn't for you. And then I went through with it, and then like the whole building was shaking, y'all.
Okay.
The whole building was
Okay.
shaking. So like, remain and stick true to what you have. Like, if it's $5 gift cards you want to give out, girl, give it out. Like, don't try doing $100 or getting Chick-fil-A catering when you don't have the money for it. Like, you're definitely not gonna achieve or be your own self. So, yeah.
Especially with the kickoff, I didn't even do the kickoff because I was psyching myself out so bad. So basically how our election kickoff works is that it goes by freshmen all the way up to seniors, and the kickoff is basically a showcase to the entire school of what your campaign is, and I did not do it because I would have been up first, second, or third, and I was so terrified because I have no example to follow, and I didn't realize that I should have been my own example, and I definitely regret not doing that kickoff and just doing what I wanted to do instead of following what other people would have liked.
It's fine, girl. You won the crown. You won the crown.
Come on. And I think a major piece of advice that everybody should know is like, it's always, in every aspect of life, but especially during campaign week, it's quality over quantity in any capacity. Whether that be your campaign team, you don't have to or need to have 2,000 people on your campaign team.
Yes.
I personally had 20 people on my campaign team, and I think it worked out just fine.
It did.
It did. And even your events, you don't have to have 1,000 events for this one week.
Yeah.
You can
Space it out, breathe,
Space it
mental
out.
health, like,
yes. And if you have the best events ever, everybody's gonna remember that.
Yeah.
But if you have one event every hour,
Child.
first of all, you're gonna be tired. Nobody's gonna remember.
No.
And it's not going to be your best foot forward. It's not going to be your best product. You want to show everybody what the best version of what you can make is.
Yeah. And also remember that this is a learning experience for you, because I know when I wanted to run, I didn't think I was going to win, y'all. But like, I just knew like I wanted to put myself out there. I wanted to learn. I wanted to see how I would react in certain like situations and all of that. And campaign week will break you. Like, it's going to take you down if you don't have the right support system once again. And like, I just wanted to see how I would have reacted. My best version of myself come out, and trust me, I did learn a lot. Like, I learned a lot from the frustrations, I learned a lot from the reactions from my peers, from those I was running against. So definitely those were experiences I wouldn't have gotten if I didn't run to be a queen, a campus queen. So definitely it's a learning experience. Regardless of whatever the outcome is, you know, like, you learn things from there that you can then put into your life as an individual.
And don't feel discouraged if you do not win your current election year, because like she said, it is a learning experience, and now you have an advantage over everyone else who's going to be running for that same position next year, because you know what it's like to put on those events, you know what it's like to fail, and you know what it's like to succeed. So take that experience and run with it and use it to be better next time.
Absolutely. Don't psych yourself out just because you lost the first time. You always have next year, you always have another chance. And you have that other chance, like Maya said, to be bigger and better. Like, nobody has ever seen you be before. Like, you have so much space and
coming in
opportunity.
different.
Different. Different than you were last year. And it's like, just put on a whole showcase if you want to. And if you have the capacity to light the school up, like with lights and everything, you can always just build on what you did last year, and don't let it discourage you if you didn't win, because like I said before, everybody is a queen in their own right. Every single black woman is a queen in their own right. And so just because you're not wearing a crown, or just because you don't have a campus position, doesn't make you lesser than, or just because you didn't win doesn't mean that you are inherently flawed or that anything is wrong, because you are still beautiful and you are still a queen, and you can still do anything you set your mind to. This just may not have been your time. You always have next year, you have the year after that, you have the rest of your life to do things for yourself. So always make sure that you're doing for yourself and not for everybody else.
Period.
Yes. You want to make sure you're taking care of yourself and that you're taken care of before you give things out, because if you have nothing to give, you're gonna crash if you have absolutely nothing to give. So keep yourself up. That's the best advice I have.
Elijah Vincent, Mr. Senior.
Hello, I am Jordan Michelle Smith, and I am the 87th Miss Fisk University.
I am Jayla Williams, and I am Miss Senior.
I am Darla Spencer, and I am Miss Freshman.
I am Devella Chico Cole, and I am Miss Junior.
I am Maya Banks, and I am Miss Sophomore.
I am Reese Porter Williams, and I am the 45th Mr. Fisk University.
I am Emmanuel Lawton, and I am the Mr. Junior.
I am Brian Thornton II, and I am Mr. Sophomore.
Shout out to True Shea from the Radiant Royals.